All right, that was just one container of our no-bake cheesecake into our greased 13 by 9. I'm gonna come in with my spatula and we are just gonna spread that entire container as our first layer of this delicious no-bake treat. I'm gonna come in with our golden Oreos. I absolutely love using the golden Oreos for this recipe, especially during the spring and summer. You can obviously do just a regular Oreo, but I love using the golden ones. I'm just going and creating our next layer with our golden Oreos. You can even do a mini Oreo. You could do a Nilla wafer. You could do a Chips Ahoy. The possibilities are endless. Honestly, using any of your favorite kind of cookies here is gonna be delicious. Perfect. Now that we have our Oreos down, I'm just gonna move that off to the side. I'm gonna be bringing in my medium mixing bowl, and we are gonna be coming in with our vanilla zero sugar instant pudding. You could even do a cheesecake here. You could do a chocolate, any kind of pudding, even a pistachio would be super delicious. But I'm just going in with our traditional vanilla and following the back of the instructions with 2 cups of very cold milk. I don't know why I can never pour that correctly. I always end up spilling milk, but I'm going in with that 2 cups and we are just going to stir this until it sets. All right, that is kind of the consistency that we are looking for, nice and thick. It only takes about 2 minutes. We're gonna remove our whisk. We're bringing back in our 13 by 9 with our cheesecake and our golden Oreos. And what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go straight down the middle with our vanilla pudding, just like so. Oh, you can see how like thick that pudding already is. We're gonna move this off to the side. We're gonna come in with our frozen little metal bowl here and we're gonna go in. I have 2 of these little heavy whipping creams. I'm gonna start with 16 fluid ounces right into our chilled bowl. And then our second one, I'm gonna start with these 2 and see how far this gets us. And I want a lot of that heavy whipping cream. And right into our bowl, we're also going in with some powdered sugar. I'm gonna start off with maybe about a half a cup of that powdered sugar. I like a little bit of sweetness with my heavy whip, so you can totally kind of just eyeball that depending on how sweet you like it. And then, of course, we cannot forget our vanilla abstract. I'm just gonna go in with a capful, as everyone knows, is a very strong thing to work with. So we just want a little bit right into our mixing bowl. We're then gonna come in with our hand mixer, turn that puppy on, and we are looking for peaks and valleys. Start slow and make sure we get that all incorporated. It's super key to use a chilled bowl. I just find that it makes it so much easier and quicker to make this next layer for our no-bake treat. All right, those are looking fantastic. And the best part about working with a hand mixer, sweet or savory, you get a little taste too. Absolutely delicious. All right, now that we have that ready, I'm just gonna move that off to the side. We're gonna go ahead and grab our layered no-bake treat. And I'm gonna place this down. We are going to be topping our vanilla pudding and our cheesecake with that homemade whipped topping. So I'm going right on over that vanilla pudding. You could obviously do a Cool Whip here, but I know some folks don't like Cool Whip. So here we are making our own whipped topping. And I'm just gonna go in right down the middle. I always like to start down the middle and then spread out. And then there may even be a little bit left over for the pugs too, maybe. We'll start off with that. I'm just gonna go in and super gently, so we don't marble those 2 layers, just cover our vanilla pudding. All right, now that we have that all beautifully layered, we are ready to place this into our fridge. I'm gonna go into our fridge for about 30-45 minutes. We have our strawberries, we have our delicious blueberries into our 13 by 9 for this amazing springtime treat. You could do any kind of berries you'd like. I just love the combination of these 4 berries for this amazing little dessert. So I'm also gonna go in with my blackberries. Don't worry, I just cut down my strawberries and we did wash all of our fruit before placing this into our 13 by 9. I mean, that is already looking absolutely amazing. I'm also gonna come in, I have just 1 lemon, and what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna zest that lemon right on top of all of our delicious berries, just like so. We are not greasing our little pan here. This does not need to be greased, but I'm just going in with 1 zest of a lemon right on top. You could also do an orange here. You could do a grapefruit. You could do a lime even. It's totally up to you. Any citrus will work. I'm just going in and making sure that we get that lemon nice and zested on top of all of our delicious fruits. And then I'm gonna come in, I have our granulated sugar, and what I'm gonna do is just Go right on in. I love these cartons too. They're super convenient to use versus like the bag. But I'm just gonna cover all of those yummy, delicious berries with maybe about a half cup of our granulated sugar for this little treat. I think that looks pretty good. And then I have my little spatula, and we're just gonna go ahead and kind of stir and cover all of our berries with our lemon zest and our sugar, and just make sure that those are super well incorporated into our little 13 by 9 before we move on to our next step. All right, now that we have that nice and mixed, I'm just gonna move that off to the side. We're gonna bring in our medium mixing bowl, and into our medium mixing bowl, I'm gonna go in with 1 cup of our flour. I absolutely love making this super easy and delicious little springtime treat. So let's go in with our flour right into our mixing bowl, just like so, perfect. Once we have our flour, I'm also gonna come in with our half cup of our granulated sugar, just like so. Perfect, we want this nice and sweet. I'm also gonna come in with that half cup and our milk. I'm just gonna do our vitamin D milk. You could do any kind of milk here. You could even probably do like a heavy cream, but right into our mixture, just like so. In addition, I have a half stick or 4 tablespoons of our melted butter right into our bowl. Perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead and get that nice and mixed together, just like so. All right, this is the consistency that we are looking for our delicious topping. We're gonna move that off to the side, and we're bringing back in our quadruple berry little sugar mixture here. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take our very large and in charge little ice cream scoop. I'm just gonna go in and start creating little bloops of our mixture right on top of those berries, our sugar, and our lemon. Let's see if I can get 4 with this mixture. Oh yeah, we'll be able to get 4. Oh, my mouth is absolutely watering. This is gonna be a great little dessert for Easter, for a baby shower, potluck, church even. I think that's pretty good. I emptied the entire bowl, FYI. We're also gonna come in with just a little bit of salt. I love just adding a touch of that salt just right on top. Nothing too crazy, but just like so. Oh, amazing. All right, we are ready to pop this into our oven. We are going to go 30 to 40 minutes at 350. All right, that was just my crushed pineapple into my large Cool Whip for this delicious spring treat. All right, I'm gonna move that off to the side, and we're bringing in a large mixing bowl. I'm gonna go straight on in with that entire thing of Cool Whip and our crushed pineapple right into our large mixing bowl. Perfect, make sure we get all of that into our mixing bowl. In addition, I'm gonna come in with 1 more thing of our crushed pineapple, just like so. I'm just using the canned crushed pineapple. You could use fresh if you like. In addition, we are coming in with our large thing of whipped cream cheese. And then I am just gonna take that and go right over our crushed pineapple. I absolutely love making this for the spring and summer. It is always so light and refreshing and delicious and easy. And I love doing it with pineapple as well, but you can kind of play around with different fruits. I think that is perfect. So now that we have our cream cheese in there, we're also going to be adding our vanilla pudding. You could also do a cheesecake pudding here. You could do a chocolate. You could do a strawberry even if you really wanted to play with the pineapple. It's totally up to you. So we're gonna start by just kind of combining all of that into our large mixing bowl. Remember with that Cool Whip, you don't wanna over whip because then you kind of lose all of your shape. So we're kind of just gently folding so that pudding gets nice and incorporated into our Cool Whip, and that pineapple is nice and well distributed. Oh, look at how beautiful that's already looking. Wow, and it smells super sweet as well, just how we like our desserts. So we'll get this well combined before moving on to our next step. Okay, this is looking amazing. Now that we have that nice and ready, I'm gonna be moving over to my food processor, and I'm coming in with one of my favorite, honestly, one of my favorite snacks is our butter snap pretzels. We're going right into our food processor. The perfect combination of salty, buttery deliciousness. And maybe just fill that up to the top with those butter snaps. You can use any kind of pretzel you'd like. We're just gonna make sure that we have this on chop and not puree. All right, now that we have our perfectly chopped pretzels, I'm just gonna come right on over to our 13 by 9, and we're going straight on in with those chopped pretzels right down into our 13 by 9. I'm just gonna make sure that we get that evenly spread out, just like so. And then I'm gonna come in, I have my sugar, just to kind of offset that saltiness. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of that sugar right on top of those pretzels. Again, you can use any kind of pretzels you want. You can even do a gluten-free pretzel if you'd like. But I maybe went in with maybe a 1/4 cup of that sugar right on top of our delicious butter snaps. And then I have 1 stick of melted butter. I'm going right on over, just like so. And we just wanna make sure that we evenly distribute that butter all over our sugar and our pretzels. Perfect. Now that we have everything into our 13 by 9, I'm just gonna gently start to kind of mix that butter, sugar, and our pretzels to create our crust for this delicious and easy little spring treat. I use maybe about 2 cups of pretzels. Obviously, you can kind of play around. Different sizes of pans will require a different amount of pretzels, sugar, and butter. I think that looks pretty good if you ask me. Just kind of making sure that's nice and even. Now that we have that nice and evenly spread out, I'm coming back in with our Cool Whip vanilla pudding, pineapple, cream cheese mixture, and I'm going heavy right down the center with that entire thing over that delicious, salty and sweet crust that we have at the bottom. Ooh, she is heavy. We're just making sure we get everything out of the bowl. I always get roasted for leaving things in our bowl, but we are going with everything in our bowl. And I'm just gonna gently start to spread out that mixture so it's evenly distributed right over our pretzels. Oh, this is already looking so spectacular. Look at that, perfect for spring, perfect for summer. So we're just gonna make sure, again, we just wanna evenly distribute that delicious mixture into our 13 by 9. No need to grease your 13 by 9. I think that looks pretty good. And then what I like to top these off with is just some sliced strawberries. Wow, wild strawberry. I just like to go right on in with some slivered strawberries. I think it pairs so nicely with the pineapple and that vanilla pudding. So I'm just going in. You could obviously do like a raspberry here, a pomegranate, some blueberries. Pineapple honestly really goes with anything. You could even do like some orange zest or lemon zest if you wanted to stay in like the citrus family. But I love a good strawberry pineapple, anything honestly. So we're just going in and just kind of placing them. You could top this off even with like some chocolate syrup, some sprinkles, anything your little heart desires. Oh, my mouth is watering though. Look at how pretty she is. Perfect for the spring. We are ready to place this into our fridge. I'm gonna place it in there for maybe about 30, 45 minutes. All right, that was our strawberry frosting, and we're going right into our large mixing bowl. Along with our strawberry frosting, I'm gonna come in with a 16-ounce of our Cool Whip for this easy and tasty little spring no-bake. I did let our Cool Whip defrost for about an hour on the countertop. You can obviously make your own whip topping, totally up to you, but we wanna make sure that we have enough whip topping for this delicious and easy springtime treat. So I'm just gonna go in with that entire container, just like so, perfect. In addition, we're also gonna be coming in with one of my favorite ingredients to use, which is our strawberry cream cheese. I just found the Philadelphia cream cheese, but they have so many brands. They also have a mixed berry, but I think the strawberry with the strawberry frosting is absolutely gonna be delicious. So I'm just gonna go in. You can even see like the strawberry chunks in that, along with our Cool Whip, our strawberry frosting, and this delicious cream cheese. Oh my gosh, this cream cheese actually smells really tasty too. All right, now that we have all of that into our large mixing bowl, I'm also gonna be coming in with a small container of condensed milk right on top of our Cool Whip, our frosting, and our cream cheese. I absolutely love making this no-bake for the spring and for summer. Strawberries are one of my favorite fruits, so we wanna make sure that we get all of that condensed milk right into our large mixing bowl. Perfect. Now that we have everything into our large mixing bowl, we just wanna make sure that we get all of that strawberry frosting out of our whisk, and we wanna get this well combined before moving on to our next step. Oh my gosh, that strawberry frosting is so vibrant pink. It is perfect for the spring and summertime. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix our Cool Whip and our cream cheese and our frosting. And remember with Cool Whip, it needs to be folded because you don't want it to lose its body. So we're just kind of gently folding that in with our spatula. The great thing about this recipe, I decided to do a strawberry. You could do a chocolate, you could do a peanut butter, you could do a lemon. The possibilities really are endless. So we'll go ahead and get this nice and folded in. All right, now that we have that super well combined, we are just gonna move this off to the side. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and grab our delicious little angel food cakes. I have them lined out onto my large sheet pan. I just get these at my local grocery store. And now that we have that delicious mixture with our frosting, our strawberry cream cheese, our Cool Whip, I'm just gonna take a small dollop and we're going right into the center of those delicious little cakes. You could also do like the mini pie crust, but I absolutely love doing these little mini angel food cakes. I think they're so tasty and they make the perfect little bite-sized dessert, perfect for spring and summer. You can make this for a baby shower, for Easter, for a potluck. So we'll go ahead and get these all nice and filled up with our delicious strawberry mixture. Oh my goodness. All right, we just pulled this out of the freezer, and we are ready to cut into this, but we are not going to just leave this blank. I have like this fruit bowl. I'm just gonna I cut a little strawberries just to add a little bit of freshness, some blueberries too, because I think it'll pair perfectly with that vanilla and our cheesecake. So we're kind of giving original cheesecake vibes. Oh, this is looking amazing. Super easy to make, super light, refreshing, delicious as always. And of course, some whipped cream and some fruit for the doggies. I think that looks pretty good though. Just making sure we get a little bit of everything everywhere. And then just to go on theme with our spring, just gonna go in with some spring sprinkles. Oh, I know, me too, Juggy. Oh my goodness, look at how fun and easy. All right, now we are ready to cut into this. I'm just gonna go in. Oh, I can feel that Oreo. Make sure we get down to our bottom layer, which is that cheesecake. Make sure we get a couple Oreos in there as well. Ooh. All right, moment of truth. I want to make sure that we can see all those layers. Oh, this is a huge piece, but you can see the vanilla, you can see our cheesecake, you can see our Oreos, our homemade whipped cream, of course. Oh, I am so excited to give this a try. Oh, my mouth is watering. Oh, perfect. You can even dye this like different colors for like a gender reveal situation, but I'm ready to go in and give that a try. The cheesecake, the vanilla, and it's so nice and chilled too. You gotta try it. Oh my goodness, this smells and looks so amazing. You easily could definitely have doubled this recipe, but this looks pretty darn tasty to me. That crust is nice and golden brown. Those berries are like delicious. I'm just gonna go right on in. Oh, look at how tasty that looks. I wanna make sure I get tons of that crust and all those berries. It's like almost like a compote at this point. Oh, we have a super easy and delicious little cobbler, perfect for any occasion. Oh, but no cobbler is complete without some ice cream. So I'm just gonna put this off to the side. I love just this Tillamook vanilla bean ice cream. I think it is so perfect with our little cobbler. So I'm gonna do a small little scoop right on top of our little cobbler. Nothing too crazy. You could also do a Cool Whip here, some powdered sugar, some chocolate sauce, whatever your little heart desires. I think that is perfect. All right, and I'm ready to give this a try. Oh, my mouth is watering. We have like the perfect little salty sweet treat, and then a touch of that vanilla bean ice cream. I wanna make sure I get a little bit of that crust, all the berries, and of course, our ice cream. Oh, wow. That is so tasty and just decadent and rich. You gotta give this a try. This has just come out of the fridge, and let me tell you, I am so excited to dig into this. The strawberries are nice and chilled. Everything kind of just firmed up a little bit. I'm gonna go in with just my spatula. We wanna make sure we get down to that pretzel crust. Oh, you can hear the little crunch too. We're just gonna go right on in. Oh, it's like a perfect consistency too. Oh, you can see our little crust, barely, but she's there. And we have those strawberries, and I have my cute little heart plate here. This is probably a really big slice, but that's okay. You eat with your eyes first, right? I'm gonna get a little bit of that strawberry, and of course our like Cool Whip, and then of course that pretzel on the bottom, and see how it's kind of staying together? That's what the fridge does. Oh, you gotta give this a try. So tasty. You gotta try. Now that we have these all complete, we are not going to be satisfied without our little strawberry. I just cut these in half, and I like to keep the stem on, and I'm just gently popping them right into our delicious strawberry mixture. I think that this always just kind of elevates my strawberry desserts. It makes it look like it's from like a bakery or patisserie, I think is what they're also called. But I'm just going in with those half strawberries with the stems, and they are washed for everyone asking. Everyone always asks. You don't have to do the strawberries here. You could do like a strawberry syrup. You could do some mini chocolate chips. You could do sprinkles. Honestly, the toppings are totally up to you, but I love just adding a little freshness to this easy little no-bake treat. I think it's gonna really wow your friends, your family. Perfect for these hot spring and summer days that we have coming up. Oh, my mouth is absolutely watering. And don't worry, the pugs also got a strawberry. There was some left over. Oh, you cannot tell me these don't look absolutely amazing. All right, now the only thing left we have to do is try one. I think maybe like this one. I think this one is calling my name. The strawberry just looks absolutely amazing. Oh, I mean, you can't tell me that does not look absolutely delicious. All right. The strawberry frosting with the strawberry cream cheese and that angel food cake, absolutely delicious. You've got to give this a try.